That's quite
I thought that was the case.
Sounds right.
It's an incredibly good thing to do.
Let's get into game number 1 of this semi-final. MSBC Furyhunter battling it out. Furyhunter with even more on the line. He's up to 3rd place in the current sort of live European promotion standings. That doesn't necessarily mean he'll get promoted. There's still another Masters Tour, plus those figures aren't official. But yeah, every point he can get on top of the money he earned, which you described so succinctly earlier, is a big deal for him.
Certainly is. Certainly is. MSBC. Oh, I love that photo.
Well, just, yeah, mostly armless.
Where's the rest of him?
Just an apparition.
That's only MS. We're missing the BC.
I don't think we want to see the BC. I think we're fine how it is.
That's when MSBC's camera comes back on, and he flexes his biceps and kisses each one and says, "This one's B and this one's C."
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Furyhunter, no 1 drop again. This happened earlier on today. And he was displeased last time. I wonder if he's displeased this time. I'm sure he's not exactly thrilled about it.
No, but I think it's a reasonable curve, gets elemental into elemental. It's just not the kind of power you'd want, right? But still reasonable. And now MSBC going to go into the think tank. Deep freeze is interesting, but I think a little bit too slow. I'd probably go with a fire sale here.
Yeah, if that deep freeze stuck, that's kind of game over. But like you say, turn 8's a long, long way away, and turn 7, if you nurture your coin, is still some distance away. I agree with you. Fire sale seems to make more sense, but I can see why he's taking his time on it. Yeah, goes for the sensible option.
As expected. Yeah, I think you'd have to go Arid Stormer, or else you're never getting that Arid Stormer down, it feels, with this curve.
Yeah, you'd like to get it down before a potential ice barrier, if possible. I know that it can be played this turn. It doesn't have to be in the hand, so... Here it is. Yeah, there's the reaction. Well, there it is. Not the worst case, of course, as it is against some aggressive decks, given that you do have Doomhammer to sort of do huge amounts of damage later on, so it's not a total disaster, but obviously you'd rather not, as an aggro deck, face it down.
Yep. And this is not one of those matchups where you can afford to just not attack into an ice barrier. You got to get through it. Doomhammer's your win condition, so just start chipping through. And MSBC, his hand is just really expensive. Obviously, the Brain Freeze pickup is quite good. But everything else is just tough. Coin Refreshing Spring Water doesn't feel, even this is going to sound weird, it doesn't feel as good because you're not getting back everything. But you are getting back as much as you could possibly do. Picks up First Flame. All right, now we're talking.
Yep, nice cheap removal that he required for this turn. Otherwise he's going to have to fireball something just to make the curve work, and that was all going to get a bit messy. So he's got all the things he needs to go when the quest is complete, but he's got to get there, and it's a long, long way away.
There's only so much time.
Pointing the cards at everything. Double Doomhammer in hand? Is it really tempting here just to start loading up Doomhammers this early? It really messes up your curve, but I feel like you might just have to.
Yeah, the alternative is not great. And does have Primal Dungeoneer to try and follow things up. The elementals that would be picked up are a little bit more efficient because of the Granite Forgeborn that was able to be played, so I think you just need to get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the problem that, say, Hunter has, where you have limited damage. You have pretty much unlimited damage, but you do have limited time, so... With everything costing 3, it was just a mess, wasn't it? Right. What's MSBC going to do? Another springy water. Feels better because he didn't use the coin. But feels worse because he drew garbage and a minion. Just costing him 2 whole mana there. I mean, First Flame obviously just jumps off the page, given that this turn's messy.
But needs a frost spell?
Yeah, an Oasis ally is one heck of a good spell if he can get it going, but how would he ever get it activated?
Yeah, that's the issue.
Only so much time.
You'd have to play the mini mage and then like attack with it as some sort of bait, and then Furyhunter will probably see through it and just blow it up some other way anyway. Yeah, this just makes sense.
I probably just want to play the biggest thing here and just get the Lily Pad Lurker down and start attacking face. Though there's some merit to trying to see what the Primal Dungeoneer holds.
Yeah, he has to decide what he wants to do about Magtheridon. Does he want to hope it doesn't exist, or does he want to save the Lilypad Lurker in case it does exist? But the problem is, if Magtheridon comes down, your board's been wiped and you're in a lot of trouble anyway. It's also obviously really good on the curve right now, but maybe he wants to save it, looking at what he's planning to do here with this Earth Revenant.
Job done.
Okay. This is the play that I least expected, but...
Me too, actually, yeah, but... Just to see how he follows this up next turn. Furyhunter's so nervous about everything. It's like, yeah, your devolving missiles basically kills your minion. What are you hoping happens?
I don't know. Maybe, is there a dormant one?
Oh, Axeman person?
Ah, yeah, Prison Gnarg. Yeah,
Quite
which
nice.
would be...
Actually, no, that would be bad.
It would be kind of bad. However, he would be able to spend all of his Doomhammer charges first, and then could get even more damage because you can swing with a different weapon, then equip a Doomhammer, and then swing again. So it'd be more damage efficient.
How much of this do you want to put on the board, TJ? Kindling Elementals and Canal Sloggers galore, if he wants them. Obviously, don't want to walk into too many sails of fire, but maybe get one Slogger down and a Rock Biter?
Could do both Sloggers.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Now let her end.
Yeah, but Fire Sale is going to cut through this quite effectively.
Yeah. I think the answer is this is a lot, right? So if this sticks, who cares that you didn't play the second Slogger almost, with Rock Biter in hand and all this other stuff going on. This is plenty if it sticks, or if most of it sticks, and he gets to do it again next turn. The problem is MSBC might be able to tidy up without using the Fire Sale, even though that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
As it happens, MSBC's hand costs like $1 million or something, so likely that he doesn't go that route.
Pretty easy, just encounters flow Fire Cell, I feel here.
Yep, sets up for some monster turns later on.
I wonder what the alternative is. Alternative is Hot Streak and make use of the spell damage with Cram Session. And use the Hot Streak for the Fire Sale.
Joy's hand's pretty full, so doesn't need to hold on for like monster Cram Session. 2 cards is nice.
Yep.
Now Furyhunter gets to sort of have the same turn again. Trying to manage his elementals as well, but that time's starting to run out now.
Yeah, could go double swing with the Doomhammer, kindling Forgeborn, and then re-equip another Doomhammer.
No
Next
littering.
turn. Doing it all this way might mess with MSBC's planning. Nobody expects a second Doom.
Puts more power on the board.
Just looking at sort of how many swings for lethal if he gets no attacks with minions for the rest of the game. So next turn could be 10 if you want to do it that way. He'd probably save it till last, but okay. Then 4, so it's 3 turn lethal without a minion ever hitting from this point on.
Yeah.
Which is a long time, especially when MSBC's only got 9 cards left and is going through the quest reasonably okay.
Yeah, quest complete. Ice barrier up.
Reached the portal room.
Dawn Grasp, Ruined Orb. Or Second Flame. Because Ruined Orb
either or.
face and Second Flame cannot.
And Second Flame can technically be reduced, even though probably won't be at any point.
I have proven myself. I demand answers. Only so much time.
Okay. With the Ice Barrier up, it's going to take Furyhunter quite a bit more time, but does have an answer to the Dawn Grasp on board. Ugh. Really needs a Dungeoneer right about now.
It's worth pointing out that this is this lily pad lurker that you and I both may well have put on the board is now going to be pretty useful against this Dawn Grasp.
Yeah, I probably would have still had it on board at this stage, but I see your point.
And it's time.
Yep.
Put all the things on the board and hope it goes away. Not hope the
Gotta
board
giddy
goes
up. Puts MSBC down to 19 health, so this stuff's gonna have to stick. MSBC could get Magtheridon down now. Magtheridon plus Ruined Orb on a minion first, then Magtheridon plus Fire Sale would be a full board clear.
But he might look... Is there a lethal if he looks? He's got rid of his
Shall I do?
reduction anyway.
I
don't
think
it's there.
Just get rid of the board.
Yeah, and then you can't lose. He kind of did this earlier. He went fishing for a lethal and then ended up in a spot against a hunter where he could have just gone fishing for a counter spell or something similar instead and still had the lethal option as an out and ended up losing that.
Yeah, so is this more damage, though? That's the thing, right? It saves more mana, because Fire Sale clears the board by itself. So Magtheridon would just be for the 12-12. Maybe worried about second Lily Pad Lurker? That could shut that down?
Only so much time.
He got 4 cards left in deck, so he can do whatever he likes as long as he gets another turn.
Yeah.
And that's... I was going to say that's lethal, but I don't think it is.
Nah. But can clear away the board, draw another card. Next turn is Arcane Intellect, draw another card. Okay, that should be lethal setup unless both those are basic knights, but this one of them has been used already, I believe. Let me take a quick look.
Just looking at Furyhunter's turn, which is play my card.
Depends on the damage of these ignites. No ignites have been played. So those are both base. Those are both 5 damage. So it's 1 damage off right now.
It's got... Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Got the arcane intellect.
But
though,
can shuffle first, yeah.
Making space. That would have been a bit of an accident.
Out of cards.
Fireball was last card, so, or one of the last cards. So it's guaranteed no matter which way he does that. So MSBC taking game one, able to keep control of the early board. And it seems like Furyhunter's Aggro Elemental Shaman, at least in the first game that it plays, has been just plagued by bad openings. And that one wasn't that bad, right? He just missed that super aggressive start that you like to see as the Aggro Elemental Shaman. That's the downside of playing like the Doomhammer package, is that you have kind of a mix of strategies, and if you draw your elemental side of those strategies, you're good. But if you start drawing Rockbiter, Storm Strikes, and Doomhammers early on, just makes your pressure early in the game much weaker.
Absolutely, yeah. In fairness, the mage was likely to get through anyway. There's a control warrior lying around somewhere in Furyhunter's lineup, I believe, so the mage had chances, but needs to get this shaman out of there. But again, the shaman should get out of there quite easily against either the rogue or the demon hunter anyway, you would imagine. So,
yeah.
I always talk about this, they're not all equal. Conquest wins, so this wasn't a disastrous start for Furyhunter, despite, obviously you'd never want to lose a game of Hearthstone. Alright, OTK Demon Hunter also playing Magtheridon. Cutting an I-beam. Again, seems to have been fairly standard for the latter end of this tournament anyway. So, no problems.
Yep, this is the double persistent peddler version 2. Kind of interesting, what players end up cutting for that to be a thing. There's only one I-beam in the deck, so I think that's where it's cut. But a lot of times you can see like another tradable cut, like Rushrot Viper if you expect weapons. Magtheridon, for a long time, was not considered in auto include. But as of late, I feel like the more players are having success with it, and we're starting to see more and more of it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a reaction to the reaction of the meta. We've got far more minion-based decks than we had, say, 6 weeks ago, so you need more ways to kill minions. And here we go, Quest Warrior, but it's a very different sort of Quest Warrior to the one we saw Jim playing in the previous round. Plenty of control in this one, and not many pirates, relatively speaking.
Yeah, there's enough pirates. Deckhand 2, Harbor Scamp 4, Cargo Guard 6, Freebooter 8, Anchorman 10. Okay,
That's 10 pirates. Furyhunter, of course, was in the Danish Pirate Boys back in the day when he was sort of making his name. His playtest group, his practice group, so they had a lot of success with the pirates. But going back to his roots is working out pretty well for him so far in this tournament, it must be said.
Going back to the roots.
There's some pirates, TJ. He's drawn 3 of the 10 pirates that we all know were in his deck.
Yeah. And that'd be good for early quest completion. Cargo Guard also can be sometimes difficult to deal with. One of the things about like Pirate Warrior as opposed to like pure control warriors, that once you get the quest online, you're constantly putting on pressure. So you can't get super greedy as the OTK Demon Hunter. Oh, no, wait.
Wait, what? That sounded right to me.
Okay, yeah.
That made sense.
Who was playing Brutes? Wasn't somebody
Brutes?
playing Brutes?
Yeah, that was your answer, I think, early on.
Okay.
The Brutes.
I was promised Brutes.
We called you out when the Brutes were there. They were banned in
and I thought
my cast and said you'd be sad.
Yeah, I was sad. I'm always sad when there's no Brutes.
In fact, it was worse than that. It was a fill match, and it was 1-0 or 1-0, and the Brutes had already won.
Ah, I see.
Like, Furyhunter
That's an
going to start
unfortunate
applying pressure.
circumstance.
You're so sad when you don't get your brutes, aren't you?
Yep. MSBC has easy quest completion here with just the acrobatics and the sigil plus natural draw. Depends what he picks up, though. Could just use a couple of tradables here, because those would be the cards that would be discounted. And tradables are not great to discount, so I think I'd prefer that efficiency. It's not mana efficient, which is the issue. Like acrobatics is just an easy spend 3 mana, boom, quest complete. But you really don't want to be discounting those pieces because it doesn't offer you much. So that's actually
also,
a pretty tough decision.
I mean, playing acrobatics means you don't have acrobatics anymore after completion, which is also a big deal.
Sure, yeah.
But yes, it's a tough one because this is going to start to snowball into, a decent amount of damage. But he kind of wants to get on with it.
Pleasure doing business.
Grows short.
He is going to do the cycling, the tradabling. Not ideal, but it does give him some options to at least get out of trouble if trouble emerges.
Then it's perfectly fine.
Gotta get through me.
I was like, all right, I didn't really have many options, and I spent a lot of time thinking about it. So, play my thing and turn instantly. Cool.
Yep.
Ugh.
And that makes sense. Like, just from it's very rare that speed of play really makes a difference. If you're a slow player, play slow. If you're not, then don't, is pretty much how it goes. But when you just see your opponent have a long, strugglesome turn and end up doing some I don't know, tradabling, then yeah, give them the minimum time to work out their next turn. Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Pleasure doing business.
This armor does become irritating. The OTK is pretty
It really does.
But
Yeah.
if he has to burn things along the way, then your OTK gets smaller and smaller. It's not like the olden days when you just did 144 when you were bored and wanted to annoy people. Like, you have to work for that now.
Bummer.
Yeah, I hate it when I can't 144 my opponent and have to 72 them.
Yeah.
Or Azinoth, he'll hold on to that he'll clutch that for a long time. And there's no Viper available, right? He's playing the double peddler, so can't blow up weapons easily. He has to get through them the hard way later on.
Load it up.
Immo, okay.
Wow.
Guild Trader plus Immolation Aura.
Demons.
Yeah, that's going to make things harder later.
Probably the play. Yeah, oh, he trades it. Okay. Still has
Trades.
Arcanist plus Immolation Aura. Or maybe, no, I can't really fully complete the quest this turn. 2 draws, Acrobatics would need 1 more potential draw off of these. Which there's a lot, right? Could pick up any tradable and it would be good.
Pretty likely, but if he does happen to miss, then he's just taking chunky damage at that point.
Grows short.
It's also awkward because right now there's 8 cards in hand. Acrobatics would put it up to 9. If the card draw source that he would need is like an outcasted Spectral Sight, he would burn the quest reward.
Yeah, don't do that.
He doesn't want
I've done that.
He doesn't want to expend draw if he's not sure that he's going to complete the quest.
Yeah, this feels like
He might run out of draw once he actually needs it.
This feels like a much better way to do everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Postpone everything a turn, get the draw from the sigil next turn.
Wretched story. Lose.
Glide.
Let's see here. Double jump. There is 2 spectral sights, 1 eye beam, 1 glide in the deck. Hits the eye beam.
Wow. Not making it easy for him, is it? Down to 17 now.
Ultimate Potem!
And this isn't. This is just the start for Furyhunter. He's going to have the quest completion himself reasonably soon, and he's still got all the control sort of variants to come, the armor gain, etc. So he's going to be able to be putting on the pressure with that completed quest pretty soon, as well as getting out of range of easy combos,
Grows short.
as well as having Bulwark of Azinoth in his hand. So everything's going Furyhunter's way for the time being, at least.
Very aggressive use of Fellscreen Blast just to deal the 1. Even Furyhunter's eyes kind of widen there. He's like, oh, okay. But just to get the Outcast Glide is going to complete the quest. And all this work that Furyhunter's done to draw cards is going to be interrupted. And had a proactive hand, and now his hand has become incredibly reactive. But we're close to quest completion, but still need 2 more pirates. And none in the hand at the moment.
Nope. There's only 10 in the whole deck, apparently. So I counted up earlier. Does he even want to complete the quest because of the Bulwark in hand? I assume he does, because that's how he wins the game, I think, the way the game has gone. But
yeah, you can get a Bulwark from the quest, so...
Ah, that's how you do it. Just play your Bulwark, you can't die that turn, or it's difficult to die that turn, and then you just get another one from the quest and win the game.
Bingo.
Got it. See? As always, TJ, we're just solving problems. One problem at a time, one game at a time. You don't think about the next problem until you've solved the current one.
Yep. Alright, so this is awkward.
That's the this is awkward look.
Yeah. So that one more pirate is still needed. Maybe it's... No, you don't play the Bulwark now, do you?
I must choose.
Oh, that's difficult. Well, those things happen, so get those out of the way. And it's just going to hold, I think.
Sure. I'm assuming his... If you want to clear this and hit me for 7, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Pleasure doing business. Pleasure doing business. Another happy guildie.
Just get back in the deck and stay there. What are you doing?
Gonna do it
Keep
again.
coming back. $36 is
wants to-
Furyhunter's
A lot.
total.
Another happy guildie.
Yeah.
Right.
Time grows short.
Ah, you don't really want to glide. Nah, you still want to glide. Just want to
you've got
pick up
to get rid of that
the
ilk.
card draw in the deck. Yeah. There's no healing, but there's no damage.
These guild traders. They're back again.
Alright. Freebooter?
Oh!
Oh?
Good job he glid. Otherwise, he might have got his Ilginov eaten.
Yeah, so there's still plenty of spell damage redundancy left for MSBC.
Yeah. Yeah, one of these being eaten, unless
so-
it's the Moarg, isn't a disaster, I don't think.
Yeah, but there's even a Moarg left. And there's an Illidari studies left to be able to copy the Moarg if needed. But then, like, the problem becomes, again, like, can it get through Bulwark? Furyhunter is just...
That's how I look when I'm casting and can't work something.
Channeling the brain energy! Work! Think harder! Count!
What, me or him?
No, that was me. That was my impression of Furyhunter's brain right now.
Uh-huh. Probably the impression of his brain most times. So he's going to play the Bulwark of Aznov.
He just threw his hands up like, I don't know.
What does all this do? He's so close to lethal.
Yeah, so
get another pirate.
Yeah, I mean, there is no healing left in the deck, essentially, except for the Fellscream Blast that's in hand. And that kind of needs to be saved for a kill. So this damage is stuck unless Illidari Studies is the card that could pick up healing. But that's it.
So just hit your opponent for 1 and draw a card and see where you're at. Chip away at the Bulwark. How many times has these tradable cards come to his hand? It's a lot. And one of those peddlers could have been a Viper in other worlds. Oh, game's on. Suddenly, a lot of damage appears.
Okay, needs healing. Oh, he didn't find healing. Can Stelino, though?
Time grows short.
I think Philosophy would have been really good there as well.
I see.
You look like you love a good deal.
Yeah, it needs to start putting minions on board to try and get these charges down from the Bulwark quickly. Freebooter! Wait! Oh. Freebooter was lethal. Any other lethal cards?
Do this. How much damage does MSBC have next turn?
A lot.
Good.
There's still a Talented Arcanist and another Guild Trader left in the deck. So, next turn alone, it's +2 spell damage. Double once, double twice, 36. But Bulwark...
Oh, he didn't forget, but the double peddler.
And can fit in the hero power.
Other people.
That's
This means
39.
the Bulwark. And the Bulwark can be chipped away now, right?
Yes, but it's not lethal. It's 36. But acrobatics is guaranteed? Yeah, it's guaranteed lethal, right? Because it can fit it all in. The hero power chips off the Bulwark. Needs the Talented Arcanist or Guild Trader. And so you're drawing 2 out of your bottom 3 cards. Double Jump doesn't get anything. But Acrobatics is enough. There's the Talented Arcanist. And yes, now that is lethal.
Wow.
2-0, MSBC.
Right on the edge of another China versus Europe final. Seems to be the theme for the...
Okay.
We blew up everything!
That was so much damage, it blew up the board.
Just cleaned it all out. He doesn't get 2 wins for that. It's okay. It's still only 2-0. Because it looked like such a massive win. It just blew up the whole match. And he's down to just the Rogue. But Furyhunter's got a pretty good lineup against this Rogue. We always say it, and I know, 3 times in a row against, even if you're favoured, is still difficult. But he has got 3 favourables in a row.
Yeah, 3 favourables in a row, and we've seen a lot of players in this position before. Conquest, it seems to happen a lot, where a player goes down 2-0 in a series, but the deck that's left remaining is the deck that they have the best matchups against. We saw it with Furyhunter earlier, right, against Mago. Mago went up 2-0 in the series, had Face Hunter left. And Furyhunter was just able to beat it 3 times in a row in an incredibly close series. So now MSBC has got to do that, but with Garrote Rogue this time.
Yeah, what Furyhunter did last time was he took it one game at a time. Didn't worry about the past or the future, just the game he's in right now.
Yep, and that's what he's got to do again. The first 2 games of the series, they didn't happen. For all intents and purposes, they're gone. They're gone forever. The quarterfinal that he played earlier, where he reverse swept, nope, doesn't matter, gone. The Swiss rounds that he won to get to this point, nope, nothing. He's just playing 1 game of Hearthstone against MSBC. He's playing against Garrote Rogue, which he loves playing against Garrote Rogue. It's just 1 game, right? Like, go to Furyhunter, hey, you want to play 1 game of Hearthstone? I'm going to play Garrote Rogue. And he's like, heck yeah. What deck should I play? Warrior? Sweet. No, he's going to go with OTK Demon Hunter first. Okay.
Okay. Seems good. Anything exciting in the Furyhunter build? He does only have the 1 peddler. I'd love to know if he actually remembered there were 2 peddlers in his opponent's deck last time around. We have seen other players also apparently look surprised and sort of have to double check the deck list. But there is the Viper in this one, which doesn't make much difference either way. It's a different card to tradable away.
Yep.
Now.
All right. 1 game of Hearthstone. That's it.
Yep.
That's what we're going to play. And if Furyhunter wins, we're going to play another one. And then if Furyhunter wins again, we're going to play another one. And then regardless of who wins that one, we're going to play at least 3 more.
I mean,
but
if you
not
play
these 2 players, different players.
Different players. Well, half of them will be different players, and the other half will be the same.
Half of them will be different players. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I said.
And if it's just MS as well instead of MSBC, it would be like a quarter of the players.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. But yeah, he's got a lineup that's sort of really good against the Rogue and the Demon Hunter. Obviously, lost the one there to the Demon Hunter, but yeah, 1 at a time against the Rogue. If you told me he was going to play these 3 decks against Rogue on ladder, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'll win 1 at a time. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. He has the glide in the outcast position at his free will. Whenever he wants it, he can glide away MSBC's hand. So MSBC overdraws, or not overdraws, but draws too much at any point and doesn't, pay due care and attention. He will lose most of his hand. So, and the cards that drew that hand, which is the bigger problem.
Yes. And this is a hand that really wants to just draw a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
Actually, most hands are hands that just want to draw a ton of stuff with Rogue, but this is not one of those tempo hands. The dagger on 2. All right. This is actually quest completion number 1. Can also get the sigil online since it was drawn off the top, so it will be discounted. And good start for Furyhunter. It's not going to be gliding next turn anyway, so I think the sigil is fine to play. The problem is there's no other card draw. But I think you just have to play the sigil and hope that card draw is found. You don't really want to glide away a discounted card from sigil. Like he could hold on to it until turn 4 and then sigil on the turn that he glides, but I think this is perfectly reasonable.
MSBC is being taunted here. Because if you're just playing this deck out for the first time and you wanted to learn how your combo works, it's like, oh, I'll get this done in turn 6 or 7. I've got an Octobot, I've got Plunderer to set it off, and then I can play my Contact, maybe Shadow Step it, Swindle, draw my deck, kill my opponent. And honestly, we know about the glide. This hand, I think, may just dictate that MSBC has to go for this and hope glide isn't there. Because it's just got no other option. It has got other options, there's always other options, but this is just a setup for a very quick win. If there's no glide.
Yeah.
Because all the alternative plays look like garbage. is the short version.
Give me that. Love what I'm initiating overdrive.
All right.
Nice reductions you got there. Would be a shame if something happened to them. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I-beam is just dumpable, and then you can get Spectral Sight, but yeah, it wouldn't be enough. Actually,
I think
Quest.
I think he's counting how dumpable the draw will be from a Sigil Runner here. Not very is usually the answer, to be fair, because most of your cards either draw more cards or are combo pieces you don't want to put on the board.
Yeah, but how many can you play for 2 mana? That's the problem.
That's what I mean, it's a problem, yeah. There's one!
Yeah. Oh, nicely done. Second quest complete, and now Glide fits in perfectly, already in outcast position to ruin the field contact turn. And we'll get the final quest completion as well on the backswing. So, good opening. The issue may become if a field contact is left on the board after all this.
Sure.
Might not have a good answer to it. Actually, won't have a good answer to it. May have
But does
to delay
he
things
need...
a little bit.
Yeah, he just deals with the field contact first. And what's the threat? You're not going to die next turn.
Yeah.
And that's if it's left on the board. MSBC might decide to shadow step it and go off next turn, which could lead to an accident. Fury's nodding. It's the time.
Oh, that's exactly what he wanted to see. Funnily enough, MSBC would have been in a better position if he just had left up the field contact on the board.
Would he though? Because then Furyhunter gets to kill it, and MSBC has to reboot his hand.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Fury has to glide again anyway.
Oh! I mean, he just gets back a good hand.
He really does.
But the problem is like all those cards were used to draw cards that then just got shuffled back in. So now has to use more cards to draw cards. That's weird as that sounds. So
he's
it's
lost
back
his
at 20
shadow
cards in
step.
deck.
He's lost an Octobot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's lost a shadow step, so it gets harder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Octobot was still used to draw cards, right? It's more card draw. And Furyhunter's like, jeez. Doesn't even have a way to deal with this outside of just hero powering it.
Just slam Kurtrus and hope.
Oh, yeah? I mean, if he doesn't pick up anything else, he might have to.
My quest, my revenge.
Yes! Slam and hope! That's my strategy for years, TJ. It's got me where I am today. Which is like rank 17,237,000.
A lot can get done here for MSBC. Furyhunter's just hoping that there's not really much follow-up, but is there ever not really much follow-up to field contact? Cult Neophyte is huge.
Yeah.
Second Cold Neophyte?
I think you do it, right? Just, you haven't got anything, I'm going to put a board out.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade. Probably.
Where do you want to point him?
I'm certain you end here with the second Cold Neophyte.
I think so too.
I'm certain of it.
It's a lot of damage.
You're paying for my discretion. Give me that. Look what I want.
Okay. Pretty big turn.
Yeah, it's a massive turn. Furyhunter needs a way to remove some of this, or he's staring down some massive damage. Look at those Garots in hand. It makes me wonder if maybe could have kept the Org Merchant in hand, because that's just damage in hand with the spell damage available. But he's relying that there is no way of removing, like no Immolation Aura. But there is an Immolation Aura, and that's going to switch things around once again.
Yeah, the question is, do you just use Immolation Aura, or do you... I guess you can always just take the one. Yeah, so Immolation Aura swing, and then develop the Sigil, and then hope hope that MSBC doesn't kill you and then find lethal next turn-ish. Which I don't know is possible unless the Sigil picks up something big. This is going to be close. MSBC is starting to get there and has the Cold Neophyte not being played last turn. Now that Furyhunter has picked up the Immolation or included the board. Yep, Cold Neophyte will block pretty much most of the stuff that MSBC can do. And he is playing the Talented Arcanist version, which means that has the additional spell damage, and it also it's the spell damage and the draw, kind of similar to their Aug Merchant. Because it's +2 spell damage until a spell is cast. So you Garrote with Field Contact on the board and then play Talented Arcanist, and the bleeds have +2 spell damage. Oh, Mana Biscuit.
That's actually quite handy. The only thing stopping him next turn is the fact that everything costs a lot, but he's still got the preps left, I believe. But now the Mana Biscuit's turned up. He's got 9 mana, 10 mana next turn available. He's going for it now, though.
Just to get the deck as empty as possible. Wildfire purely to dump a card from hand.
Quick counter. It's not enough. How much is it now?
Wait.
They will never catch.
Is there another Fellscream Blast? I-Beam doesn't have enough mana to fit in everything. With the Moarg.
Does not. And like you suggested, he's up against an Arcanist build, so he can't sort of get to 30 and hope MSBC just doesn't have the spell damage available. He will have the spell damage available. He's double, triple checking this isn't enough for lethal. Which it's not.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah. If he had picked up the second Fellscream Blast, it would have been at least close to it, right?
Uh-huh.
Still don't think it would have been actual lethal, though.
Immolation Aura, that at least costs MSBC a lot of sort of mana and time, and means he has to do the full thing because you're going to stay on 20, or at least close to the full thing before people get pedantic with me.
Yep, and Furyhunter's going to heal up to full.
Yep. If you're going to beat me, you've got to beat me properly. And at the moment, because he used that Mana Biscuit, MSBC does have a very mana-intensive turn. This needs to be some help. That's not help. I don't think he can do it this turn.
Nope, needs the Octobot or prep.
Can he do it if he hits the Octobot straight away? But it would involve...
No.
Oh, Fury's back in!
Furyhunter. Yeah. And the rest of the cards, honestly, like Brain Freeze is kind of dead. Secret Passage is also kind of dead. Because you would just be picking up the other cards that are dead.
And if he
not
misses?
really emptying anything from your deck.
If Fury misses, he's got the Glide available. Just to maybe buy some more time, like as a Hail Mary attempt.
Yeah.
Choose soon.
MSBC emptying out what he can. Just wonder if he's thinking of playing the passage here for 0 cards. He's actually going to go for the prep as well. He thinks he's got enough mana, so yeah, he's going to do both. Anticipating a potential glide.
Yeah, wants to ensure that Octobot comes off the top next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Another happy guilty.
That's a good start for Fury.
Happy guilty.
Yeah.
That's a good start for Fury. But is it though?
Double Jump could pick up Spectral Sight. Nope, it picked up I-Beam.
He dumps it.
But it's just going to glide away and hope that there's not enough stuff. For MSBC, MSBC knew that was a very high likelihood possibility of happening. Okay, there's the Spectral Sight. Keep drawing. I mean, this will be near guaranteed, if not guaranteed, for Furyhunter going to the next turn. Last 3 cards are Il'gynoth, Guild Trader, Moarg. So Double Jump is a dead card.
Time grows short.
As it stands, MSBC doesn't have the ability to proc the Octobot and draw more cards without doing sort of field contact first, which
without playing Talented
dangerous.
Arcanist, but then he'd run into spell damage issues. Wouldn't have enough spell damage to end the game because would have to cast the Garrote with the Talented Arcanist, which doesn't get the effect. You have to end with Talented Arcanist for the draw.
Yeah, otherwise your next
1 minion left. So could go. You go Octobot, Penflinger, Shroud. And then I think that sets up for a guarantee next turn. It draws the Ethereal Aug Merchant. You draw 1 Garrote. The next turn you go Field Contact Penflinger. Would draw the second Garrote. You play both Garrotes, and then you Talented Arcanist for the kill. So I think this does set it up.
Will only have 2 cards in his deck, and he has a Peddler in hand.
Yeah. So, and it would need to be Il'gynoth and Moarg. In some order, right? So it'd be.
Yeah.
He needs to not draw the Guild Trader. Oh no, could trade with Guild Trader too. The second Guild Trader.
There's the Mohawk.
This is guaranteed.
Another happy guildie.
Or it's not guaranteed because he still needs the mana to be able to do it. Okay, there's the
There's the
Il'gynoth.
Il'gynoth.
All right. Woo! Woo!
What a game!
That was intense.
I bet you can do this.
So if he could have run into a situation where the tradable kept getting the tradable and he ran out of mana, right?
Yep.
So it wasn't guaranteed. If he would have had to have lost 5 coin flips in a row in order for that to not be lethal.
Never happened,
right? Because it would have had to be tradable into tradable into tradable. He only needed 4 mana to be able to do the full combo because everything was free at that point because the Guild Traders had been drawn multiple times. So, but gets it right away. We don't have to have that type of drama of Furyhunter just keep trading into a tradable back and forth at Il'gynoth just refusing to be drawn. But that was a very cool game. It's not often that we get to that situation where both players are just trying to maneuver their way through the final turns. Both players with like 2-3 cards left in their deck, riding right on the edge.
In a semi-final, where Furyhunter's like been on the edge in every match we've seen him in as well. Like all of his games seem to have been like this. But you know what, TJ? None of those games happened. It's going into game number 4.
No.
To him, it's game number 1.
Nothing's happened.
Reset.
Nothing's happened. It's just now it's just one game of Hearthstone, and MSBC's playing Garrote Rogue, and Furyhunter's playing either Warrior Shaman. Just one game. Yeah. Yeah. No matter which way you look at it, you got a favorable.
So Furyhunter is basically playing like 5 rounds of Swiss, and it's round 1, but they're best of 1s. And if he wins that Swiss, he wins.
Yep.
It's round 1 all over again.
Yeah. Right now, actually, no, he's not because none of those games happen. He's playing a 2 Swiss round tournament where there's only 2 players.
Sure. That's until.
And there's a weird rule where he needs to win 2, but his opponent only needs to win 1 round in order to advance to the final.
So it's like a double elimination tournament where one of you's gone through the top bracket and one of you's gone through the lower bracket, and it's been best of 1 all the way.
Yeah.
And then the winner of this tournament plays the winner of the other tournament that was won by Jim.
Mm-hmm.
In the Grand Super Bowl tournament of Hearthstone.
Yep. That's right. I think we simplified it as much as we possibly could. If you want to say it in the most confusing way possible, it's a best of 5 and MSBC's up 2-1.
Oh no, I can't understand this. Hang on.
Yeah, that things get a little bit lost in the weeds when you put it like that. So we'll go with Niels and I explanation. But I do think that was probably the maybe the Shaman's the toughest matchup. I think Warrior's probably the best matchup. Maybe not against the talented Arcanist version, because you have so much spell damage potential.
And the Shaman does just hit you with Doom Hammers.
The Shaman does hit you with Doom Hammers.
So if you get any damage at all to stick early, it's not like your regular sort of rogue takes over the board fight, because the Shaman just hits you with Doom Hammers. So if Furyhunter's queuing up the Warrior, like you say, there's a lot more damage than usual available here to the Rogue, and that is why the Rogues bring these extra spell damage versions, because there was the danger that there'd be a lot of Control Warrior in the tournament. As it happens, and I'm calling this Control Warrior because it's a pirate build with only 10 pirates, and it's got a lot of control cards.
Sure.
But it's basically a Control Warrior. It can get a lot of armor. It can also obviously drop the Bulwark of Azinov, which makes things even more difficult. So, interesting matchup indeed, especially with that extra spell damage available.
Yep. All right, but here we go. MSBC just missing an Octobot. Then he's cooking.
Pirate stuff.
Yeah, he really is.
Got the pirate curve. Whew! Pirates.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Yeah, just pirates from the Danish pirate boy himself. MSBC in a weird position here because he plays the Arcanist so that he can murder early spell damage, but this is a matchup where you don't want to murder your early spell damage.
Yeah, because those armor totals can get pretty high. Rancor almost always gains a ton of armor. You got Cargo Guard, you got the Hero Power, you got Kresh. You got... What else? I'm missing something. Heavy Plate.
Yeah, Heavy Plate's the big one.
Yeah.
Heavy Plate.
Gotta get through me. Job's done. Load it up.
Oh, this is called Heavy Plate. Not like Heavy Plate armor, it's just Heavy Plate. Where you have a heavy dinner.
That's me every day.
What, a heavy dinner on your heavy plate?
Whoa. Look at it.
A lot of Octo.
Efficient is sufficient.
Yep.
Octo Procto.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this is the juice. Got the Shadow Step already. But like you said, the spell damage, the Ethereal Aug Merchants are really the only cards to use to start drawing. He would much prefer to not have to use those, but if he goes quick enough, he may not need that much damage, right?
Maybe. I mean, well, sorry, yes, you're correct. If he does go quick enough, but maybe he can't go that quick because this Cargo Guard is getting work done as well.
Yes.
There's a Bulwark of Azinov, which makes things even awkwarder. Orcs.
Yep.
It's a Hearthstone-related word, orcs, but you can also say orcs for awkward. So.
Oh, Penflinger is so good. So good. Everything is good. That's good. Octobot, not necessarily good. What's the draw? Colt Neophyte?
Deciding whether to Shadow Step. That's why he's got to stop now, right? Because if he wants to Shadow Step, he needs
Well,
to...
he can Penflinger and then Shadow Step. Yeah.
But that's why he has to stop with 1 mana. If he's otherwise, he doesn't have to stop.
Ooh.
He can just carry on coining.
He could go coin, Penflinger, and then Shadow Step. Because this kills the Sword Eater. And leaves nothing on the board. So the on-curve play of Snowball Anchorman, not going to draw a card. And has second Octobot. He is going fast.
Story.
Playing it anyway, because it's big, and it's a pirate. What could you want from your big pirate deck?
That's the biggest pirate, actually.
Is
Not
it
a
the biggest
single pirate that's bigger.
Isn't there like
sure.
no old god pirate?
I
The biggest pirate in standard, isn't it?
It probably is. Yeah, it's pretty hefty. But I don't like to make these firm commitments because every time I do, somebody goes, "What about the 9/9 pirate that can't attack and has stealth and walks backwards into your own face?" And you go, "Oh yeah, I forgot that one."
Technically, Captain Riccara is the biggest. And if you want to get even more technical, South Sea Scoundrel has the biggest attack number.
Yes.
But it costs less. It's the same amount of stats combined, and it costs less. So it's not as big.
Sure. I'll let you have that one. I don't want to argue in a semi-final, but I'll argue another day.
You start heavy plating? Oh, Sword Eater. Okay. That'll complete another level of the quest. You start heavy plating. Get that armor.
45. It's all about the big numbers, TJ, as we've been trying to teach you in other games.
Okay. We're going to have to do math this game, I know it.
Oh, don't make me do math.
Yeah. It's okay, I'll do it for the both of us.
Excellent. That's twice the maths.
Yeah, so one shadow step's been used. There's one shadow step left, and there's a talented Arcanist. Max spell damage is +5. If you get triple talented or triple ethereal aug merchant plus talented Arcanist, so that'd be +5 on the Garrotes. But it's not +5 spell damage for everything, because the initial Garrotes would be less, right? The initial Garrotes would be +3. That's 5. So that's 10. And then 6 times 7. You do 52? Is that max damage? 52? Okay.
You said you're going to do the maths for both of us, so yeah, I agree. Rancor, that's a bit more if he wants it now.
Yeah, I don't think he wants it now. I think you can get greedy with the Rancor.
If you play
Also
Arcanist
got
Shadow
Bulwark,
Step,
which is going to make things
quickly
very
enough-
awkward.
He's also actually just doing damage, by the way. 46 health and got MSBC down to 15. So if you play Arcanist and Shadow Step quickly enough, do you get more spell damage?
No.
You play the Shadow Step before the Arcanist hits the board and get it back in your hand.
Nope. Nope. I like where your head's at, but nope.
Trying.
Okay. Well, he's going to draw cards without using spell damage. Furyhunter with the second heavy plate will be out of range of max damage. And keep in mind, max damage is very hard to do, right? Because you have to get all 3 ethereal augments off, and then you have to ensure that talented Arcanist will draw all the Garrotes. And you have to play the Garrotes too.
I'm on Rancor alert right now. At this exact second, there's a Rancor in the hand and a whole bunch of 1 health and 2 health numpties on the other side.
Woo, 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 woo. That's the Rancor alarm.
I remember it well.
It sounds very similar to all the other alarms.
Yeah, but that's definitely the Rancor alarm. I have to be so careful.
Alright. Finds the Shadow Step importantly, but this does now limit the amount of damage, but it's necessary because that's the last Octobot to actually get the discounts required. So now max spell damage is 4. The initial Garrotes would only be 4, so that's 8 plus 6 times 6, 44.
And there's a Rancor and a Kresh available right now, and another heavy plate. The Rancor does other things. It clears the board as well as getting you 1 million armor.
What now?
So he can, if he shivers
Yes.
the timbers and then Rancors,
Yes.
And then heavy plates, he's out of range?
I think so. I mean, I'm following your math and I think it's correct.
What now?
+2, +3, +4, +5. 8. I think you're right.
Oh, wait, and he burned the Garrote? Because he drew it as the last card?
Hand is too full.
Oh, that
the
makes
sequence?
a difference. Well, then 59's a lot.
Because I'm looking at the deck tracker right now, and there's not a second Garrote. So he got the Garrote at the end of the sequence with the secret passage and didn't have enough hand space. Is that what happened?
I'm looking for a few good mercenaries.
Yes, I'm going to assume yes. I'm
Okay.
staring at Furyhunter's hand, just adding up armor every turn and letting you count the damage, and I missed the
Yeah.
bell.
Oh, okay. You pick because of that. You pick a 10.
Yep. Is there a shadow
10.
left?
So many options.
You pick 10.
Get the spell damage, bounce it back at some point so it only costs 8, and then you still probably can't do it all.
You can't bounce it back. He's out of Shadow Steps.
Well, find a way. So he has to pick the
He went for a 5. Yeah.
Efficient is sufficient.
Yeah, it's been checked. Thank you, Daruk. It has been burned because of what you said with the secret passage.
To be fair, that was a very difficult turn from MSBC because he was trying to complete everything while also keeping track of his original hand for the secret passage. That one snuck up on me though.
So I'm giggling because every time we've seen this control warrior deck, it does like 15 damage and then it just becomes a control warrior. It just gives up on the pirates, doesn't complete the quest, and just sits there and bees a turtle.
Yeah. Furyhunter doesn't know though.
Oh, does it
Alright,
not show anywhere?
I don't think so. All right, hold on. I got to calculate max damage with. So max damage is +4 spell damage on the initial Garrotes. Okay.
Okay.
That's 12. No, it's only one Garrote. +4 spell damage on the initial Garrote. That's 6. And then it's 8 times 3. So it's 30.
That's not 57, so he needs to stick a board of a greater golem. That's it.
Yes.
And it needs to hit face like
Isn't going to
14
happen.
times with it.
Yeah.
So MSBC is going to do the calculations again, because he's probably done them every turn for like the last 6 turns. And he has remaining a preparation which does no damage, a swindle which fetches the preparation, and a shroud which fetches nothing. That's not a good hand. Good remaining cards.
Yes. Essentially, this hand right now is what he's working. Oh, wait a second. A Pexus Blast. There's a 5 cost that wins this. There's got to be. Oh, he's out of Shadow Steps. Is Nero in Standard?
Too soon.
I mean, you're the 5-drop man.
I'm out of cards.
TJ 5-drop Sanders. I remember it well.
Yeah. Nero's not in Standard anymore. Is Nero in Standard? It wouldn't matter because he's out of Shadow Steps. But if he had Nero and could empty his deck and then play Nero and just have an infinite board of imps, that would be cool. But doesn't. But again, Furyhunter has no idea, right?
Well, I mean, if our deck tracker picks it up, maybe his does. I just don't know at this point.
No, I don't think so.
But if he has no
think it
idea,
works
then
like
it's
that.
terrifying because he'd better make sure MSBC does the combo and not just concede halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, even if MSBC had the second Garrote, I guess technically it would be possible with the Greater Golem.
You're paying.
For my discretion.
Right, it's kicking off.
For my discretion.
I mean,
Just sit there, Fury. Don't press any buttons. This is how I imagine you've been for the last 3-4 turns.
I'm out of cards.
This is where we get to see if everything's okay. No, please, no.
yeah, Furyhunter's like, yeah, Furyhunter thinks that it's double Garrotes.
Oh, was there a way of getting
Yep.
spell damage from the Apexis Blast? Like +2 spell
No,
damage?
not enough. From Aegwin.
Yeah.
But even with Aegwin, it's still not enough. Because there's only one Garrote. So with Aegwin, that would be +4, +5, +6, +7, +8.
Right. Times, let's call it 4, because that's easy.
3.
32.
Okay, 4. Yeah, that's 32. He was at 60. There was no way. So, and Fury, until this point, actually even now, still doesn't know that one of the Garrote wasn't the card that was in the hand. Because from his perspective, if it was it would have been 10? Oh no, it would have been. If both Garrotes were discounted, right? If there was 2 Garrotes there and he hits Aegwin from a Apexis Blast, each Garrote, because there's 6 spell damage on the board, 2 from the Talent of Darkness, that's +8. That would have been 60 damage plus the initial damage from the Garrotes. So
Right.
if MSBC had not burned the second Garrote and had hit exactly Aegwin from the Apexis Blast, he would have had 76 damage?
76. You could buy one of
Whoa.
those dinosaurs for 76 damage, as long as you get all 76 damage in your purse.
Yeah. In your purse. In your runecloth bag. Yep.
Yeah, but none of that happened. It's the
Whew.
best of one now to see who gets into the final. Look at this hand, but look at the Octobot.
Oh, look at it. Yeah, needs a kindling elemental to really kick things off. Because right now he's got a good 1, but then nothing for 2. It's just going to keep both. Nimbus. All right, so Vapor and Viren is like, all right, cool. This was good.
Yep. Don't want to draw Doomhammer till later. This is fine. Let's not risk it. That's a hand, though, on the other side of the board. MSBC looking to be another Chinese finalist.
What the heck?
Masters Tours.
It's like the perfect 5 cards.
It really is.
Name me better cards. Name them to me.
Undertaker. Yogg-Saron.
Or Garrote Rogue.
Oh, okay.
Wisely does not play the efficient Octobot. As rare as it is, Furyhunter does have the one answer to it on curve, if he had played it, which is the Rockbiter weapon.
And another Rockbiter weapon.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot of damage if he picks up a Doomhammer, by the way. No matter how quick MSBC goes. Like, MSBC still won't be able to go until probably turn 7, even with a hand like this, because you kind of have to wait for the mana to catch up with you.
Wait. So Furyhunter can go Coin Granite Forgeborn, the next turn play Confection Cyclone for 1, which then adds 2 1/2 elementals to his hand, and then play Granite Forgeborn for 3 and play the 1/2s for free. Play
Sounds
the
a
Granite
lot.
Forgeborn for 3 and then play the 1/2s for free. There you go. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, not me. Because Granite Forgeborn for 3 is about as far as I'd get before Confection Cyclone for nothing with something candies.
Whoa! All right. MSBC going digging here. Garrote, pretty useless. Kazakis?
For a 1, because his hand is so good.
or 5 with like lifesteal. I don't know. That's a lot of damage.
Because he needs to fiddle around. For
He's looking for removal. He's looking for removal. Second Garrote, dead. A Thorough Og Merchant, essentially dead. Oh, Furyhunter's got it. He's got a board loaded up. This is going to be a board. And you know, I guess he's going to trade over the Wailing Vapor, right? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, because of all the elementals he could play next turn, that Wailing Vapor would get huge.
You need to know that he's used a Garrote. So when you're doing your calculations, just, remember that a Garrote is a Garrote.
Okay. All right. So the play is Convection Cyclone, then Granite Forgeborn, then dump the 1/2s. Power. Packing a powerful punch. Poop.
I can't remember the last time we had an all-European final. It feels like only yesterday when that happened every day. But there's a possibility for it here. Furyhunter can convert this. It's starting to look like he will. But look at the other side.
Look at MSBC. He's like, oh my gosh. So much damage.
That's a lot of damage.
And then damage from hand for Furyhunter next turn. Double Rockbiter and the Euro Worm. 9 damage from hand. So would need 8 damage to stick on the board. Oh, Prize Plunderer. Huh.
Yeah, this hand has got some stuff for MSBC. This is not over by a long chalk yet, although it's looking really, really good. He's got Shadow Step Plunderer. He's got ways of drawing more cards. He can kill a lot of this board off. It'll only be turn 6 next turn, which is usually not early enough no matter how you stack your Octos and Contacts, but he is going to have a pretty good turn here. And of course, he doesn't know about the double Rockbiter. He might leave too much up.
Yeah, and with the Octo, he's not going to have a choice to leave too much up. Furyhunter needs 8 damage to stick on board. 8 damage. If just both Granite Forgeborn stick, bleeds. Okay. He needs like a Flurry. Doesn't find Flurry. Well, there's still a lot of damage showing. Can Prize Plunderer?
Yeah, there's double.
Second Shadow Step.
Oh, wow.
Shadow Step, there it is.
Look at the board he's assembled, as well as, forgetting the damage he's removing. The board he is assembling is a fighting force with a fireball in hand. This could end quickly the other way suddenly.
Oh!
He's Max Custodian!
I mean, it doesn't do anything this turn, but it can pick up the Doom Hammer.
Right, with double Rockbiter in hand.
So he needs to Earth Revenant.
I wonder.
You just play that all the elementals this turn, right? So you Earth Revenant.
Yes.
Are you Euro Worming the face? I don't know. Both Shadow Steps are gone. You don't really want to leave spell damage up though.
He's got to expect that he's not dead next turn as long as he doesn't do anything stupid like leave everything up, because turn 6 is just difficult. No matter how good a start the Rogue has, turn 6 is almost never a kill.
Oh, I mean, has no Shadow Steps and a 1 Octobot in deck.
Right. So he's just got to be...
He's gonna go Doomhammer this turn.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's 16. So he can clear off as much of the board as possible. And now, Cult Neophyte, though. Or actually, this sets up through Cult Neophyte because he played an Elemental, so Euro Worm's active, and then Rockbiter would cost 3, so has exactly 13 damage. MSBC would have to play both Neophytes. He's saying 1 Neophyte. That's what he's saying.
Just
holding up the 1. He's like, okay, stop at 1. Stop at 1.
He's going to be disappointed. Maybe, because MSBC obviously
That's if he plays 2, though.
This hand, yeah, he may decide to play them over 2 turns to slow things down a bit. Although it's pretty unlikely. There's not many spells.
I wonder.
But can he go off on 7 mana? I don't know if he can. Which means he, if he thought he could go off on 7 mana, he'd play both Neophytes for sure, right?
Yeah, he is going to play both. He's going to end this with the second Neophyte. If he doesn't play second Neophyte here, he loses.
Yep. I think he does it because...
Oh, this is tense. Oh, he's going to prep Fireball. I can feel it. Nope. There it is. Yeah. Still not out of it yet, though, for Furyhunter.
Wait.
Oh, that does it! That does it! The Kindling Elemental off the top! Exactly! 13 damage! Earworm! Rock Biter! Exact lethal! Oh my goodness!
That was another ridiculous Furyhunter match. Every time he's on stream, he does this. And now he is in the final, and on top of all the everything about winning a Masters Tour, reaching Masters Tour final, that's a lot of points as well. He's marching up those potential Europe promotion standings, but I want to shout out MSBC's game there as well. He's played really well, I feel, throughout this match and throughout this tournament, and was one top deck away from another China-Europe final, but it is going to be all Europe in the final this time around.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since that has happened. Well, 2 Masters Tours, right? 2 Masters Tours ago? Or 3 Masters Tours ago?
It's a while ago. I know I should know this, but my brain is scrambled after just watching this game, TJ.
Yeah, that was insane finish. Furyhunter, the second time in a row now, both in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, a reverse sweep. And both of them were incredibly close series. And there you have it. But yeah, shout out to MSBC. That was a very difficult series, and one that I think he played quite well in. Just wasn't able to get the win across the board with the Garrote Rogue when it mattered most. And there you go. Bada Bing, Bada Jim Palm versus Furyhunter is going to be our finals.